What's up guys, Richard here, and I wanted to show you the latest game that I programmed. Now, for this game I worked with a team of 4 other people, so 3 artists and 1 designer. The idea behind this game is that you're basically a GUI-like alien that has accidentally crash landed on Earth, and in all places you've crash landed in a film set. So each level within the game is basically a different film set. And the idea is that you need to traverse this level, which is basically a 3D platformer, find items that help you match a silhouette. And the silhouette is basically the caricature of a human. So you're collecting these items to try and make yourself fit in and not get caught out by the other humans. But it's kind of very joke-like because you use things like video cameras and TVs and scrolls for body parts to try and make yourself indistinguishable from humans. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through of just one of the levels in the game. I will warn you, this is running on my laptop, which is now pumping and really hot, so it's not the best machine for this, so it will be a little bit slow. But as you can see, first up, this is programmed in Unreal Engine. Now, you've got some different abilities as this gooey little alien. You can grow, you can shrink, obviously you can run around, and then the main thing is you've got to find items and eat them. So if I hit tab, well, I can't hit tab yet because I haven't got anything in my inventory, so I'm just going to run over here and collect something. By the way, if you want to see the actual trailer for this video, for this game, it is within the description here, and probably shortly the description for the download for the actual game as well. Not the description, the link for the download will also be in the description. So as you can see, I've collected 2 items in the game. I hit tab, there's my inventory. For the heads, I have a TV and a mushroom. As I said, a caricature. And then basically you've just got to traverse this level, find out where the things are. To help you find things, you've got this radar style effect, which allows you to shoot this radar out, and then it kind of marks where things are hidden, and then you've got to figure out the best way to get there. Now, I'm not going to go through and play the level because that's not the point of this video. What I am going to talk about is how I programmed this game. Now, the vast majority of this game was programmed in C++. As you can see down here, we have a lot of different things happening. So first I'll talk about customization. So I didn't show it in the demo because it would require me to play the entire game through and then get to the customization screen. But basically it's a screen where you have all the items you've collected scattered about, the silhouette, the shape that you're meant to try and make, and you've got to grab those items and try and fit them to make that silhouette, and therefore win enough points to complete that level and be able to go to the next level. So basically the customization screen is a whole heap of extensions of widgets. So we've got the main one here, which is the customization widget. It's pretty simple. Like if I have a look at the code, what we've got going on in here is, I'll just jump straight to the start. We've got basically this thing called the body selection tool, which is like a rotating object in 3D space. It accesses that, sees what body part you've got selected. Are you looking at the head, the body, the arms, or the legs based on that rotation? Then we've got our left and right mouse button to change that rotation. Then we access the game instance, because this is the most important part to the entire code. Now, I'm not going to go for the code for everything, but I do want to show you that. So the game instance is running this thing that's called, if you have a look here, we've got fmap data. And in fmap data, we've got basically a list of heads, a list of chests, arms, and legs, and then we've got inventory heads, chests, arms, and legs, and then the silhouette value, and then whether you have one and whether the level is complete. So basically the entire game is managed by this thing called the item management system, item and map management system. And the idea is that this game could have 3 levels or it could have 100 levels. The code doesn't need to change. How it works is as soon as you enter a level, this item management system goes, okay, let's go check our map data, like our array of map data, which is basically an array of this fmap data. It goes, okay, let's go check that. And it goes, does this map exist? Is it listed within there? And if it doesn't exist, it goes, okay, so we don't have that. What we're going to do instantly is scan the entire map, find out what random items were generated on that map. Once it's found those random items, it goes, okay, now from those random items, I'm going to generate a random silhouette, which you need to collect. And that's obviously going to consist of a head, a chest, some arms, and legs. Now, It then stores that data within this fmap data, which is part of that array. And that is the lists of heads, arms, and legs that exist on the map. The reason that that is there and we don't just list only what you've collected is because when you collect items, they disappear. And if you leave the level, go do other levels and then come back to this one, we want to know what you've already collected, so what should not be spawned the second time you enter the map. Then we've got the inventory head, chest, arms, and legs, and that's basically saying, hey, these ones are inventory. So they're removed from that list of arms or whatever, and then they just place straight into the inventory. The silhouette, that's basically saying, hey, if this is -1, a silhouette hasn't been generated, so generate it. Once it's generated, it's no longer -1 anymore. And then this here is basically just for highlighting the silhouette and saying, you have this item, rather than scanning the entire inventory constantly for the UI. You have this item, so light that up. And whether the level is complete, once the level is complete, you can no longer enter it. That's basically how it works. So that is the item and map management system. Apart from that, we've got our little Guudo character along here. As you can see, I've got a bunch of enums. I've got small, normal, or large, so that's his size. Growth is whether he's currently in a changing state or not. That's used for raycasting and collision checking, because when you start growing, we want to make sure that you're not going to grow into something and then get your player stuck, or in a worst case scenario, he gets stuck and then pushed back through the earth and falls down into infinity. We've got in the air, on the ground, or in the water. This is basically to determine whether you're going to start taking damage if you're in the air for too long and you're above the ground for too long, in the water for too long, because you can take damage when you're in the water. Basically, then we just got reference to the game instance, switches, stuff. There's a whole heap of timers that are running over here. And that's pretty much it for that. Then we've got pickup data. Okay, so a item pickup. This is used by the item management system. Basically, a pickup comes with a bunch of data. So for one, what part of the body does this pickup belong to? And then two, what is the general shape? So the idea is that, let's say you have to pick up the TV. That's what the silhouette says. You got to get the TV. But you pick up something else that's box shaped. And then you're like on the customization screen, oh, I don't have a TV, but I have this other box-like item, and you slap it there. Well, you're going to get a percentage of the points overall. You're not going to get the full points, but you're going to get like roughly 50% or whatever the design is set, so that you still get some type of points because you got the general shape right of the silhouette. But if you have something completely different, like a stick shape, and you put it there, it's going to go like, no points for you. And then the pickup data, this is basically a component that a designer can add to any static mesh. And as soon as they add it, it basically says, oh, okay, well, this is now a pickup. It can be scanned by the item management system. It comes with these variables the designer can configure, and it just streamlines the entire process. So basically, they can set the name, they can set what material is represented by the silhouette. They can set the general shape, as I was just talking about, and then the body position. Then what that general shape, the score that it gives by default is 50%, and if you get it wrong, by default it's just 0. And the skeletal mesh is because basically on the customization screen you have a great big human Guudo type shape, and you need to slap on these different parts, and that's just to tell it what skeletal mesh to slap onto the main Guudo character. Okay, I would say that the most complex part of this entire game was actually just most likely the UI, because the UI is highly interactive, especially the customization screen. So I learned a ton about how to interface with UI, and I actually made this game, I started working on the UI for this game before I started working on my UI inventory system, which is the previous video to this one. So there's some things I did in this game which are actually not that smart compared to the UI system. For example, in this game here, I jump up into blueprints to assign textures and to assign materials for the silhouettes and stuff, and then I come back down into C++ because I couldn't figure out how to do it during the production of this game. But afterwards, when I was working on that UI system, I figured out how to get access to all that code, and I implemented it completely 100% in C++. So there is some aspects of this system which basically is 90% C++ and then 10% blueprints, because I wanted to do something and I didn't know how, and I did it in blueprints, and then it comes back down in C++. So there is some parts of this code which is not that well done. But I did learn quite a bit about UI in the process of making it, and I'm pretty sure I'm now, based on that previous project and this one, at a state where I can program anything I need UI for a game, which is good because I'm kind of enjoying working on UI, and I might get more into UI and UX design in the future because I feel like a beautiful UI, like a nicely functioning UI, makes a game so much better. And I've noticed that when working on group projects, because this is my second really big group project working with a team, most people don't really consider the UI until the last moment. It's kind of like an afterthought. And for me, I kind of think about it from the beginning. So I'm always thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? How's it going to look nice? And I actually go into it and start like designing and building the UI myself and putting all the pieces in there and making sure it's all layered and stuff, when most programmers I've noticed just don't bother with that at all. So that's probably one of my strengths at this stage. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you a rundown of this game. This will probably be my first fully published game. Obviously, it's a team project. I didn't do everything. I didn't do the graphics, the technical art. I didn't do the design ideas behind the game, but I did program it. That is my claim to fame. Anyway, if you like this video, like it, sub to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.